Hello and welcome back to On Point HQ and a new bolt action battle report. We're going to be fighting the Scenario 3, the Battle of Kokoda, from the campaign New Guinea book. It's going to be giving me an opportunity to use my Australians for the first time against Ian's Japanese. It's quite a nifty little scenario, this. So I'll run over what the scenario is, and I'll go through the two army lists, and then we'll play the game. So the battle represents the first Battle of Kokoda, with the Japanese assaulting Kokoda in July 1942. Now the Australians in this game are going to be massively under strength compared to the Japanese. So I'm going to be taking 522 points of Australians, and the Japanese get 50% more of what I take, so they're getting 783 points. My army's made up from the 1942 Australian Army Reinforced Platoon, and the Japanese are from the South Seas Detachment Reinforced Platoon. Certain limitations on my choices though, so I'm unable to take regular infantry, artillery, transport or forward observers, and all my options, all my troops have to be inexperienced. The only ones that aren't inexperienced are my medic, my sniper, my HQ and my Papuans, but the rest are inexperienced. So I'm going to run through my army list now. So my HQ is comprised of a first lieutenant with assistant. As part of the scenario, I also get a free veteran major to represent Lieutenant Colonel Owen, who was present at the battle. My infantry choices, I've taken 2 militia sections, 10 man, inexperienced, with NCO with SMG and an LMG. One of the sections it's been cobbled together from other Australian models, because I only own 1 militia section, but they are identical. They're inexperienced and green as well. The third infantry option is my Papuans. They're regular, all rifles except the NCO, who comes with an SMG. For support, I've taken a medic team, a medium machine gun team, a mortar team and a sniper team. So that's 522 points, and it comes in at 700. Comes in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 order dice. Yeah, so it's going to be quite interesting. With the we're taking so many inexperienced troops. I normally run all my my bolt action forces largely as veterans. So this is going to be somewhat of a unique experience for me, but it seems to be a good little scenario, and I'm really looking forward to it. Excuse me. So on to the Japanese. So like I said, the Japanese are taking 783 points, and they will consist of a second lieutenant and assistant. Johnny's then taken 3 regular infantry squads. There appears to be quite a lot of guys there. It's really quite worrying. He's also taken 2 lone snipers. That's going to be problematic. For support, he's taken a medium machine gun team and a medium mortar team. And his last option is a grenadier squad with knee mortars. And that's the total for the Japanese. So that comes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dice as well. So 9 dice each, quite a points disparity. So it's going to be quite interesting. Another thing about the scenario is it's quite a number of additional rules. So it's going to be fought at night, so we'll be using the night fighting rules. My guys can deploy on the table all at the start of the game, and they're going to be dug in, hidden, and on ambush, which is going to be quite handy, because the Japanese get a preliminary bombardment, so there's a good chance all my guys are going to start off with pins. Now when you're inexperienced with pins, that's not a good start to the game. The Japanese will enter in 3 waves from 2 defined table edges to represent where they attacked from. The only change to the scenario is that we've gone from the 6x4 table and we're just running on a 4x4 table. We're running relatively small forces, and I just thought, just as a start, we're just trying a 4x4. If it doesn't work, we'll refight it on the 6x4. But I thought for today we'll go for the 4x4 table. So that's it. Victory conditions. I get 2 points for every unit killed. The Japanese will get 1 point for every unit killed, and there's going to be 2 buildings, which will be the objectives, and you get victory points for contesting and holding the objectives by the end of the game. And the winner needs to win by 2 clear victory points. Otherwise, it's a draw. So they're the forces, and now we're on to set up, and we'll fight the battle, and that will follow. So see you soon. Hello and welcome back, and this is the battlefield. You'll have to excuse the rather poor lighting. Words cannot adequately describe how bad the lighting is in my flat. I've got an extra lamp out, but whoever designed these things wasn't thinking about light. Anyway, enough of my complaining about my house. This is the battlefield, like I say, 4x4 table. We have a runway running from one side to the other. There is trees. These 2 buildings here will be the objectives. So these have to be held or contested at the end of the game. The Japanese will enter from there and there in 3 separate waves. My Australians can set up anywhere on the table and will be set up hidden, dug in, and potentially on ambush as well. But that's the table. Yeah, it promises to be an interesting match. Hopefully I'll have the lighting sorted out by the time we get to film at the end of each turn. But let's see if we can get in a bit closer. So these are the buildings are the objectives, and then we have, excuse the lamp, then we have jungle scrub, we have the runway, more jungle scrub, and like I said, the Japanese will be deploying from those 2 table edges. I'm going to be largely probably set up in a horseshoe formation around the village. But that's the initial setup. Just waiting for Ian to get here, and then we shall start the game. So see you soon. Hello and welcome to it's the pre-game turn, the preliminary bombardment, and I'll just talk about this because it's gone pretty badly. The Papuans have taken 2 pins. Militia section over here took 1 pin. Medic took a pin, and the militia section there took a pin. Everything else escaped, except my free veteran major, Lieutenant Colonel Owen, took a direct hit from the preliminary bombardment, and he's dead. Wiped out. He was there. He's not there anymore. Great start. I mean, I could have done. Nobody was, apart from him. No other troops were killed, and the pins were relatively low. But still, it's not a great start, really, is it? When so I've got one HQ unit left, and he's inexperienced, and he is there. So, yeah, not looking like a great start. So what'll happen now is most of my units have started off the game in ambush. The Japanese are going to enter their first wave from that corner over there. We rolled on tropical hazards. We've rolled mud, so there is no running round, or no run orders can be used in this game because it's a bit tricky underfoot with the mud. So that's the prep bombardment out the way. We're going to now go into the first turn, so we'll see you all at the end of the first turn. So see you soon. Hello and welcome to the end of turn 1, and with the night fighting rules in effect, not a whole lot of action to be had. So over here, so there, the first and second wave of Japanese came on. So a couple of tests to see if they could see any other troops. Not an awful lot. My medium machine gun team attempted a shot but couldn't see anything. Papuans here with 2 pins also attempted some sporadic fire at the Japanese unit that entered there, but failed the order test and went down. And that's the sum total of action for turn 1. Night fighting rules, the first time we've used them, they're quite interesting. I'm still down a man from poor old Lieutenant Colonel Owen, being on the receiving end of the prep bombardment, cutting his game very, very short indeed. But for the most part, no, it was a very, very uneventful first turn. So the Japanese have got the last wave that can come on in this turn. I don't imagine my Australians will be doing much in the way of advancing. We can't do any running. Interesting point about the mud. The Japanese machine gun team came on over there, and there's you can't be issued run orders due to the mud, so they're stuck essentially. Unless we're reading the rules wrong. If we are, please leave them in the comments below. But as far as we know, they're stuck. But that's it. That is the end of turn 1. So we shall be back at the end of hopefully a more eventful turn 2. So we'll see you in a very short while. Hello and welcome to the end of turn 2, and a really rather uneventful turn 2. What we're finding is the night fighting rules are they're really putting paid to this combat lark. Not really going down a lot, but we've had some not really action as such. All the Japanese have now advanced on to the board, so they are all on. For the most part, there's been attempts to see the opposition through the night fighting rules, but nothing as of yet. No one's been spotted. My HQ was just out on that unit there. My Papuans here attempted to spot the Japanese section there, but unfortunately failed their second successive order test in a row. Most of my guys have remained on ambush, waiting for the inevitable Japanese horde to arrive in the next couple of turns. But that's it. I think the next few turns are going to be the big ones. This is when the ranges will be closed. There'll be muzzle flashes. There'll be more advance orders given. So that's going to be an interesting spectacle, shall we say? As you can see, militia here, militia there. My medic and mortar, my MMG team there covering the runway, and then we've got the Japanese here. So that's it. That's the end of turn 2. Again, not an overly eventful turn 2, but hopefully be a bit more firing in the next turn. So we'll see you at the bottom of turn 2. So see you soon. Hello and welcome to the bottom of turn 3 and a bit of action. So let's start where it all went down. So this Japanese section here spotted my Papuans here and opened up on them. 2 hits, managed to kill an NCO and 1 man. Lovely stuff. So that's 3 casualties for me so far. The rest of the Japanese was largely advancing across the table, trying to spot Australian units, but the night fighting rules, they're proven to be what's commonly known as a pain in the arse for shooting. My units have largely remained on ambush for most of the game. My Papuans decided with the death of their NCO it was probably a good time to rally actually. They rallied, cleared all their pins, so they're good to go in the next round. This militia section here, they passed an order test, spotted just the Japanese section mooching over here in the woods, opened up, hit the section with 1 shot, but failed to kill anything. But they've got a pin. It's shaping up rather nicely at the moment. My line is remaining largely static. I've only got 1 unit with a pin, that's my militia. Everything else is pin free. It's been quite an odd game. I think the night fighting rules give it a good dimension, especially when in the latter rounds when we're going to be closing on each other. We've got a Japanese section advancing over there. We've got another section there and there and there. So they are getting in close. I think once you do close in, the night fighting rules become less and less prevalent as you get to spot easier. So the next 2 or 3 turns are going to be quite eventful. So hopefully there'll be a lot more shooting, a bit more entertainment. But we shall see you all at the bottom of turn 4. So see you soon. So we are at the end of turn 4 and there's been some significant events and encounters. So let's start over here. So this Japanese infantry section fired on my Papuan infantry. They went down, suffered 1 casualty. But the interesting thing, then this militia section here passed its, didn't have to pass an order test. Fired on this Japanese infantry here. Did it kill anyone? With one casualty, wasn't it?
2 casualties.
Oh, 2 casualties there and a pin on the section. The interesting action happened over here though. So the Japanese Grenadier section advanced or attempted to advance around this these trees here, triggered my militia's ambush and got mullered. Absolutely mullered. They ended up 5 killed. That left them with 2. They fired back and they caused a casualty on the militia team. And then my HQ advanced, wiped out the rest of the Grenadier section. Then this unit here advanced, fired at my my HQ here. Caused 1 casualty, so killed his assistant. My lieutenant very, very pluckily and bravely passed his leadership test. My machine gun team spotted the sniper. Oh, where we gone? There. But no, didn't cause any casualties. My mortar also spotted that infantry section there. Fired, didn't hit. But that was it. So 2, possibly 3 turns left, and it's a close run thing. My Papuans have done nothing through this entire game. They've either been pinned, shot, or generally in distress. My militia have outdone my expectations. Oh, we didn't test for them. They've taken a casualty.
Oh. We'll do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now, live.
So we're going to test to see what, because my militia are green, what do they have to roll?
That's a good question. Where's my rule book?
Tell you what, we won't do it on camera because we need to go and find what the rule is, because I've never used green troops before, so I will confirm that at the start of the next turn. So we'll see you soon at the end of turn 5. Hello, and unfortunately there was no 5th or 6th turn. Real life and grown-up stuff got in the way, and Ian was called away. To be fair, he's just become a dad and his little boy's only 2 months old, so he had family stuff to attend to. So we decided to shut the game down at the end of turn 4. But it was an enjoyable game. For me, the combination of night fighting and the mud as a tropical hazard, it really brought a really good dynamic to the game, especially not being able to see things, not being able to run. Despite this, within 4 turns, the Japanese were closing down. They were bearing down on me, and my Papuans, they were in a bad way. The militia had lost a couple of men. My HQ was down. I'd lost Lieutenant Colonel Owen. So I wasn't exactly in a strong position when we ended the game. But it was enjoyable. It's been a while since we had a game of Bolt Action, so it was good to throw some dice around. It was good to finally get my painted Australians onto the table. So apologies that it wasn't a full game, but as I mentioned before, real life got in the way of playing with toy soldiers. So sometimes it happens, but on this occasion, yeah. But all in all, though, an enjoyable way to spend an afternoon, throwing some dice around. Some really interesting dynamics to the game, a great scenario. I think what we'll do is we'll refight it again when we can get 6, maybe 7 turns in. The game actually ended in a draw. I lost a unit, Ian lost 1 unit, and so to win you've got to win by 2 clear victory points. So it was 2 to me and 1 to Ian. So that's where we didn't really look at the objectives because they weren't really. It wasn't really fair because I was contesting them anyway, so it didn't seem to be a real point. I think what today was more of a getting back into playing Bolt Action, new scenario, and getting to play with my Australians for the first time. So it was all in all a very enjoyable experience. Bit different to how we did the previous battle report. I do apologise for the light on some of the filming. We were using a number of different lamps because the light in my flat is shocking. The natural light is I don't know who designed these flats, but they didn't have natural light at the forefront of their planning when they put them together. But I'm not gonna moan about my place of abode any further. But that was it. Like I say, interesting scenario. It was good to throw some dice around. It was good to get my Australians on the tabletop, and yeah, it was good to do another battle report. We're still learning, so could it be better? Absolutely, but I've enjoyed putting this together. Different way of doing it and all, but there we go. So I hope you found that enjoyable. Any comments or questions, just leave them down below and I shall certainly respond to any comments or questions. But as always, thanks for watching. Take care, may your dice roll well, and I shall catch you in the next video. So bye bye for now.